During the era of Prophet Moses, there lived a man named Qarun, who was part of Prophet Moses' relatives. Qarun was also one of the Moses followers and one of the wisest men of Israelites. He had a simple life but desired for a luxury one. For that, he asked Prophet Moses to pray for him so that he could have a prosperous life. Prophet Moses prayed for him, and day by day his life was getting prosperous. Slowly, he built many houses. Not only that, he owned enormous ships and recruited many servants to work for him. He wished on having knowledge about alchemy so that he could turn useless metals into gold, and his wealth could increase too. Qarun's life was drowning in the joy of the pleasure of the world. He had forgotten that his wealth was from the grace of God. He didn't visit Prophet Moses anymore and turned away from the poor people. The people were not having a good fortune and were living in difficulties. When the people went to Qarun to ask him for help, he said to them, "I earned all of this wealth with my own knowledge and my own effort. I won't spend even a third of my wealth on helping poor people." Prophet Moses was upset about Qarun's behavior. He asked Qarun to feel and be sympathy towards the poor people, but he chose to ignore God's prophet and didn't obey him. A great celebration was held. All the people gathered in the castle and bowed before Qarun. He was sitting on a big elephant, passing through the crowd while giving them gold coins. He would crush anyone who didn't bow to him under his giant elephant's legs. Qarun woke up from his sleep feeling scared. He just had a strange dream. On that very night, he ordered the dream interpreter to come and explain about his dream. Qarun was walking about in his castle narrating his dream story to the interpreter. "Isn't my dream interpretation telling that I'm the most powerful and the most worthy man? Am I not the wisest who has a lot of wealth?" The interpreter said, "Yes, you are, Majesty, you are. Your dream interpretation is that you should do something to make the people aware how rich and wealthy you are." His counselor stepped forward and said, "You can hold a big celebration just like your dream. You will be sitting on a big elephant while passing through the crowd of people. That way, everyone will be aware of your power, wealth, and position." Qarun's eyes lit and was overjoyed. "Well done. We will carry out just like my dream." The next morning, Qarun commanded to gather all the tailors, blacksmiths, and jewelers of the city. He spent a lot on gold, silver, and jewelry for this celebration, while the people of the city were suffering poverty. Days had passed. The workers, blacksmiths, and the tailors worked day and night preparing everything in place to fulfill Qarun's orders. The news about the celebration spread out in the city pretty fast. Everyone was talking about the celebration and the things which Qarun was supposed to do. A group of Prophet Moses' followers went to him and said, "Oh Moses, You know that the more Qarun's wealth increased, the more he disobeys God. We are afraid that the people might slowly think Qarun is the richest and the most eminent person among the Israelites because God must has liked him. Due to this, we are afraid that the people will recede from God's prophet and gather around Qarun. Why didn't you ask God to give you wealth like Qarun too? Prophet Moses smiled and said, Qarun's wealth is a test for him. If he used his wealth in God's way, he would be grateful to God. But if he wastes his wealth, God will punish him. I won't ask God to give me wealth like Qarun. Instead, I ask God to give me just right amount that I need. Finally, the day of the celebration came. Grilled lambs, delicious fruits, and colorful juices were nicely arranged on the table. Qarun was passing through the crowd sitting on a big elephant. Powerful men were carrying chest boxes full of gold and jewelry. A group of people, upon seeing Qarun's wealth and power, said to themselves, Lucky for Qarun, we wish we were in his place too. After the celebration, Qarun ordered to throw leftover food into the pit and burn them, while the people of the city were suffering from hunger. Qarun said, I prefer to burn these foods instead of giving it to the poor people and Moses' followers. If Moses is right and his God is rightful, he should ask his God to help the poor people, not me. Qarun was jealous of Prophet Moses and wanted to despair the people around him so that he could take his position. He thought for a while and finally came out with a plan. Finally, he held a meeting and invited Prophet Moses to come and preach the people. When Prophet Moses started his speech, Qarun interrupted him and said, Don't get deceived by this man anymore. He wants to take your property for his own use and name it as zakat. Will you do this? Everyone looked at Prophet Moses doubly and said, No, we won't give away our property. Qarun said, He wants us to give away our wealth to the poor while we are the one who had earned it with our own effort. If God desires, He will make them wealthy too. Is this right? People around Qarun said, No, it is not. Prophet's effort in guiding Qarun and his followers were useless. Moses became heartbroken due to their persistence and said to God, Oh my God, I had tried so hard in bringing them to the truth, but they are being stubborn and close their ears upon hearing my words. They disrespect the poor and don't give a bit of their property to the needy ones. They condemned me for lying. I want you to do your justice. The next morning, an earthquake happened. With God's will, the earth gradually swallowed Qarun and his followers along with their wealth too. Those people who wish to be in Qarun's place thanks God for not being in his place and not be punished like him. The scary incident had frightened the people. They went towards Prophet to hear out his words about the incident. Prophet Moses said, "O Israelites, again today God showed you his signs of power. You have already seen the fate of a man who disobeyed God, walked on earth arrogant, and oppressed the God's servants. Today's incident was a sign of God for you to remember that all of the glory and great world is for him. We have to be careful and always be aware that all of the blessing God has given us should not lead us to an arrogant and rebellious human. Instead, we have to be grateful towards God's blessings so that we can reach the well-being and the goodness in this world and afterworld."